My beloved daughter, I saw you holding that phone, your hand still trembling, searching for a signal amidst this silence that frightens you so much. I know the depth of your haste and the weight of this urgency that makes your chest tighten upon waking. You've come this far because you feel time is running out and that the next decision you make could change everything. But the fear of making the wrong move has been your most constant companion. I know you've been desperately searching for this most important step, trying to understand how to act amidst this whirlwind of uncertainties surrounding your emotional life and your home. Many times you felt as if you were facing an insurmountable sea, with the past chasing you and the future seeming like a dense fog. You wonder if there's still time for healing, or if the promises I made to you have been lost along the way. I brought you to this moment of quiet to reveal something the noise of the world would never let you hear. The secret to perfect movement lies not in the strength of your feet, but in the total surrender of your heart. There is a question that has been echoing deep within your soul, a void you try to fill with plans and worries, but the answer you so desperately seek will only be revealed if you decide to walk with me to the end of this journey we are beginning now. Remember what happened when my children were cornered, and fear seemed to be the only option. At that moment, the order was not for them to run in despair, but to stand firm. For it is written in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. I have already acted in the past, and I am ready to act now in your story, transforming this weariness of yours into an authority you do not yet know." If you remain attentive to every word I whisper here, you will leave this encounter with a clarity that the world cannot give you, and with a strength that comes from resting in me. If this word of God is touching you, comment below with your name, the country, state, and city you are watching from, and what time it is there now. I want you to feel that this is not just any video, but a scheduled meeting in the court of my grace. And now, as a gesture of surrendering your burden to the one who can do all things, write with all the strength of your soul, "Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Do not leave my presence before I finish speaking." I will give a clear answer to your heart at the end of this journey, and a specific phrase will be whispered so that you may finally rest. Whoever writes this final sentence in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released in faith, for I honor those who wait on me. But I haven't yet shown you everything I see when I look at your tomorrow. There's something about the danger of trying to take steps that are too big that you need to understand now, before exhaustion overcomes you. Have you ever stopped to think why? Even trying so hard, the feeling of being in the same place still haunts you. Share this message with a soul you know didn't sleep well last night, for love multiplies when it is shared. Do you feel your faith has been calm or desperate? Write in the comments, "I trust." I see the way your feet move hurriedly, as if you were in a race against time that I myself created. There is a restlessness in your walk, a deep desire to solve everything at once, to leap over problems and quickly reach the edge of the solution. But pay attention to what your Father is telling you now. Large strides taken without my hand are not signs of progress. They are merely falls disguised as speed. I saw when you tried to force that door that was still locked, and I saw the weariness in your eyes when you realized that your strength was not enough to move it even an inch. I remember a recent night when the silence of your house seemed to scream all the questions you don't know how to answer. You paced back and forth in the living room, phone in hand, waiting for a message that never came, or perhaps looking at the bills on the kitchen table, feeling the weight of a future that seemed to slip through your fingers. At that moment, you thought that if you ran faster, if you did more, if you wore yourself out a little more, peace would finally arrive. But peace is not the destination of a frantic race. Peace is my presence walking beside you at the pace I have determined for you. Often, in your anxiety to help those you love or to mend what has broken in your heart, you end up distancing yourself from my rhythm. You try to carry the world on your shoulders, forgetting that the governance of all things rests upon mine. When you try to take steps bigger than your legs can bear, you end up stumbling over your own expectations and hurting yourself on the ground of frustration. The danger of walking without my hand is that you begin to see giants where I see only shadows, and you begin to fear tomorrow as if I weren't there waiting for you. Listen to what my wisdom has recorded for your heart, for it is written in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 2. It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way. You have had much zeal, much desire to succeed, but you have lacked the knowledge that I am the master of time. Haste has been the thief of your joy and the fog that hides the small blessings that I scatter along your path every day. I don't want you to just reach your destination. I want you to arrive whole, healed, and with a peaceful soul. Daughter, I am teaching you the art of walking slowly under my light. Do not compare yourself to those who seem to be running and conquering everything quickly. Their path is not yours. What I have prepared for you requires a structure that can only be built step by step with silent trust. Every time you take a deep breath and choose to wait on me, you are winning a battle in the spiritual world that your haste could never win. But there is still something I am preparing in silence, something that requires you to stop looking to the sides and look only to me. There is a transition happening now, a movement from heaven that asks of you a surrender that goes beyond words. Are you willing to let me guide the direction and speed of this new time? Like this message, if you feel your heart needs to slow down today, subscribe so you don't miss any of my whispers of direction. What has been stealing your patience lately? Write in the comments our word of surrender. I follow your light. I feel your heartbeat calming, like the gentle sound of water finally finding its way to the riverbed after a fall. This silence that envelops us now is not absence, but the fullness of my presence preparing your spirit for something greater. Sometimes, the most important step you can take isn't a physical movement, but a gesture of surrender that proves to your own soul that your sustenance doesn't come from your own effort, but from my faithfulness. I see it when you decide to honor what I have done for you, transforming your gratitude into a concrete action that blesses other lives that also cry out to me. This is the moment to seal our covenant of mutual care and trust. If it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my love and that of my son Jesus, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount. If you want a different amount, just type the desired amount. And remember, only what fits in your heart. I receive it with love. It doesn't matter the amount. What matters is the heart with which you give, because what is little to you can be a lot to the one who receives it. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written, "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see in secret, and I reward in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. If this moment of worship touched your soul, show your love by liking this post and subscribing so we can walk together every day. Share this seed with someone who needs a miracle today. Let me ask you something. Do you feel your heart is finally ready for the miracle of my peace? Write in the comments our word of faith. I receive your peace. There is still a secret about the beauty of a step taken in rest that you need to discover now. There is a divine aesthetic in rest that you have not yet fully understood. The world around you has taught you that to be important, you need to be exhausted, and that to be blessed, you need to be in constant motion. But I tell you that there is a profound beauty and an invincible strength in a single step taken in peace, with your heart resting in my sovereignty. Imagine yourself walking through a garden at dawn. There is no rush for the flowers to open. They simply trust in the cycle I have established. That is how I want your soul to be. Remember that early morning around 3 o'clock when you sat on the edge of your bed and the silence of the room seemed too heavy. You looked at the ceiling, feeling that familiar tightness in your chest, an anguish that whispered you were being left behind. At that moment, you thought of 1,000 solutions, planned 1,000 conversations, and tried to anticipate every move of your tomorrow. But while you were exhausted by thoughts, I was there, blowing a gentle breeze through your window, trying to show you that the sun would rise at the exact time I determined, regardless of your despair. The most important step that night was not a strategic decision, but the simple act of laying your head on the pillow and saying, "I trust in your care." The peace I offer you is not the absence of problems, but the certainty of my presence in the midst of them. When you take a step with calm faith, you are declaring to the spiritual world that your God is greater than your circumstance. There is an authority that emanates from a woman who decides not to panic when the news is bad. When you choose calmness, you disarm the enemy, because he doesn't know how to deal with someone who cannot be manipulated by fear. Rest is your most powerful weapon of war. Listen to the invitation I extend to you now, the same one I extended through my beloved Son. For it is written in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice that I didn't ask you to bring solutions. I asked you to bring your weariness. Relief is the gift I give to those who choose to walk at my pace, without trying to carry the burden that belongs only to me. Your job is to trust. My job is to provide, heal, and open the way. Feel the difference of a step taken under my light. It is not a heavy movement laden with doubt, but a smooth glide of one who knows that the ground beneath their feet is sustained by my word. The peace you feel now, as you listen to my voice, is proof that your soul was made for rest, not anxiety. Every time you choose calm, you become a reflection of my glory on earth. If this peace is flooding your being now, like this video, as a sign that you accept my rest, subscribe so we can continue this sacred dialogue every day. Have you felt that your peace was stolen by someone or some specific situation today? Share this message with that friend who is always overwhelmed, so that she too may find her way back to me. Write in the comments our word of devotion, eternal love. But what happens when the noise around you tries to steal that calm? There's something you haven't yet realized about the voices that surround you, and I need to warn you before you take your next step. Daughter, I know there are days when my voice seems like a distant whisper, and the shadows of doubt try again to surround your table. I see the tears you secretly shed in the kitchen, while the coffee cooled and you wondered how to maintain that calm. When the video ends, and the silence of the house is interrupted by the usual problems, I don't want to be just an isolated moment in your week. I want to be your constant companion at each sunrise, the light that dissipates the fog before you even put your feet out of bed. That's why I've prepared something special, so that our conversation doesn't fade when the day darkens and loneliness tries to knock on your door. I know your hunger for direction and how much your soul yearns for a word that is uniquely yours, a map for days of weariness and new beginnings. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to accompany you day after day in silence and intimacy. Access is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if today is not possible for you, don't condemn yourself. Stay with me here because I will also sustain you with this message, and so that your heart may rest and not be confused. After you register, access will arrive in the email you provided with all the correct instructions step by step to get you started. For it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." Psalm 119:15. This path we are walking together requires constancy, and this book is my embrace in the form of letters, a guide so that you never again feel lost in the middle of the night. It's not about obligations or transactions. It's about the two of us, walking at a pace of peace that the world cannot offer. Now take a deep breath, feel my hand on your head and regain your strength for what I will reveal to you next. If you feel you need me every day, leave a like and subscribe to this journey of love, so that spiritual bread will never be lacking on your table. Share this hope with those who feel helpless now. Tell me from your heart, will you accept walking hand in hand with me from now on, without letting go of my hand? Write in the comments our word of restoration. Heal me, Lord. Remain attentive and prayerful. For now, I need to give you a serious warning about the voices that try to confuse you and steal the clarity of the next step I have prepared for you. Daughter, the world around you has become an extremely noisy place, and I see how this noise has been trying to infiltrate the sanctuary of your mind. There are voices that arrive disguised as advice, others that shout through the screens you watch late into the night, and there are those that are born from your own fear, whispering that you are falling behind or that your time to be happy has passed. I have called you to this moment of sacred isolation because I need to give you a warning. If you do not learn to filter what enters your ears, you will lose the clarity of the step I have already designed for your feet. I saw you at that moment sitting on the sofa, your face illuminated only by the cold light of your cell phone, scrolling through page after page, comparing your real life, with its pains and expectations, to the perfect showcase of people you don't even know. I saw when a pang of inadequacy gripped your chest and you thought, why does the path seem easier for everyone else than for me? At that instant, the voice of comparison spoke louder than my promise. I also saw when someone close to you, perhaps with good intentions but without my vision, said that you should give up on that dream, or that you are being foolish for waiting so long. These voices do not know the secrets I have placed in your spirit. They only see appearances, but I see your destiny. Pay attention, for this warning is urgent. Not all advice that sounds logical comes from my wisdom. Often, the enemy of your soul uses the noise of others' expectations to drown out my delicate whisper. He wants you to make decisions based on social pressure, your age, or financial urgency, but I want you to decide based on my peace. My voice will never leave you confused or desperate. It will always bring a calming clarity, even when the answer is not what you expected to hear. Remember how I revealed myself to my servant Elijah when he was hiding in a cave, his soul weary and surrounded by fear. For it is written in 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 11 and 12. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake, and after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire, a still small voice. I am not in the noise of despair, nor in the fire of your anxiety. I am in the still small voice that asks you to trust while everything seems to tremble. To hear this voice, you will need the courage to silence the others. You will need to say no to the noise of the world so that you can say yes to my direction. The most important step you will take now requires a spiritual filter. If the voice you hear brings agitation and fear, it is not mine. If it brings a profound calm, even in the midst of the storm, then it is I calling you to walk. Do not allow the volume of human opinions to be louder than my word in your heart. I am cleansing your spiritual ears at this moment so that you may regain clarity. You will feel an immediate difference. The weight that was on your shoulders will begin to lift as you recognize that the only approval you truly need is mine. If you feel you need this cleansing of your ears today, like this video as an act of surrender. Subscribe to protect this channel of communication between your heart and my throne. Share this message with someone you know who is living under the pressure of what others say. Let me ask you, who has been speaking louder in your head lately? My promise or your fear? Write in the comments our word of total surrender. I surrender. There is still a memory I want to bring to your mind. A scene from a night you thought I had forgotten, but which was the moment I held you the most. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and return with me to that night. A few months ago, when the silence of your room seemed to have an unbearable weight. Do you remember? It was a rainy Tuesday, and you were sitting on the floor, leaning against the side of the bed, your face hidden between your knees. The world outside kept spinning, but for you, time had stopped in a pain that no one else could see. That night, your hope wavered so much that you whispered, almost breathless, "Lord, until when?" You felt invisible, as if your prayers were hitting the ceiling and returning as emptiness. I saw the exact moment the first tear soaked the fabric of your pants, and how you tried to stifle your sobs, so that no one in the house would notice your fragility. You thought I was too busy with the world's great storms to notice the small drizzle of sadness flooding your chest. But what you didn't know that night, as you stared at the blank screen of your phone, waiting for comfort that didn't come from human hands, was that I was sitting right there on the floor beside you. I wasn't just watching your pain, I was collecting every drop of your tears and holding your heart so it wouldn't shatter into permanent pieces. In that moment of apparent abandonment, I was weaving the strength you are using today to hear this message. That night wasn't a mistake, nor an oversight on my part. It was the place where I dug the deepest well of your resilience. You thought it was the end, But I knew it was only the necessary interval for your soul to learn to depend not on what you see, but on what I promise. Listen to what I whispered to your spirit that morning, though the noise of your anguish prevented you from hearing clearly. For it is written in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I fulfilled that promise that night. I strengthened you when you no longer had the will to get up, and I upheld you when your legs faltered before the mirror the next morning. Today, when you look back, you realize that somehow inexplicably you survived. That pain that seemed eternal has become a scar that now proves my faithfulness. I did not bring you this far to leave you now. That night of wavering hope was the trial by fire that purified your faith. Now you are no longer the same woman who wept on that rug. You are a daughter who knows that her father endures cold nights just to ensure that you don't give up. This memory is not meant to bring you sadness, but to give you the authority of one who has already passed through the valley and was not consumed. If I was there when your faith was just a smoldering wick, imagine what I will do now that you have decided to listen to me again. The calm you so desperately seek will not be born from perfect circumstances, but from the living memory that I never let you go, even when you tried to let go of my hand. If you remember this silent care and feel your soul being embraced now, leave a like as a testament that you are still standing. Subscribe so that our journey continues to be strengthened with each new word. Have you ever felt this invisible embrace in the midst of deep pain? Share this video with that person who seems to be living their own dark night right now, so they know they're not alone. Write in the comments our word of gratitude. I want to start over. But don't think that your strength lies only in your ability to endure pain. There's a secret hidden in your calmness that you still need to discover. Something that will transform your surrender into an overwhelming victory. Many around you confuse your silence with weakness and your calmness with defeat. But I am here to tell you that the greatest strength a human being can carry is that which is born from absolute surrender to my care. The world has taught you that to win, you need to shout. You need to defend yourself tooth and nail, and you need to always be on a war footing. However, in my presence, the rules are different. There is a spiritual authority that emanates from you when, instead of reacting to chaos, you decide to take a deep breath and rest in my lap. Your calmness is not a sign that you have given up the fight, but proof that you know exactly who is fighting for you. I saw you that day, perhaps at your workplace or during a family dinner, when someone hurled judgmental or provocative words your way. I saw your hand clench the cutlery or pen, and I saw the lump that formed in your throat as your ego urged you to respond in kind. But in that instant, something different happened. You felt a gentle warmth in your chest and a whisper that said, "You don't need to say anything, I am your advocate." You chose silence. You chose calm. And while the other side expected a conflagration, they found only the peace of a tranquil lake. In that moment, you didn't lose the battle. You won the spiritual world, because your calmness prevented the enemy from finding an open door to steal your joy. The strength of calm surrender is like the root of a centuries-old tree that, while the storm shakes the branches above, remains firm and still in the deep ground. You have been that tree. Outwardly, the wind blows and the leaves sway, but in your spirit, the root of trust is descending ever deeper into my faithfulness. Don't feel bad for not having all the answers at your fingertips, or for not having the strength to refute every criticism. My strength is perfected in your weakness, and your calmness is the stage where I perform my greatest miracles. When you stop trying to control the outcome, you free my hands to act perfectly. Listen carefully to what I have written for your days of weariness. For it is written in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, "For thus says the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and resting you shall be saved. In quietness and confidence shall be your strength." Understand, my daughter, that the secret is not in your activism, but in your quietness. Salvation for this problem that keeps you awake will not come from a brilliant plan you created in the early hours of the morning, but from your act of resting in my ability to solve what seems impossible to you. Trust is the fuel of your victory. As you walk with this resilient calm, you are sending a powerful message to everything that tries to shake you. My God is greater. This surrender is not passivity. It is an intense spiritual activity. It is the effort to keep your heart at peace when everything around you tells you to despair. I am polishing this new identity of yours, That reactive and anxious woman is giving way to a daughter of God who carries the kingdom within her. Wherever you go, peace will come with you, and chaos will have to retreat before the clarity of your faith. Do you feel this strength growing within you now, replacing that old weariness? Like this video if you feel that your calmness is your greatest victory today. Subscribe so we can continue cultivating this garden of peace in your heart. Have you ever wondered why your peace bothers so much those who prefer to live in the noise of conflict? Share this message with someone you know who is about to explode so that my spirit may bring the cooling that their soul needs. Write in the comments our word of intimacy. Your presence is enough. Now that you understand the power of your rest, I will reveal to you the secret of the most important step of all. It is something so simple, yet so profound, that it will change the way you see each of your days from now on. We have now reached the moment when the light of my spirit dispels the last shadow of doubt over your journey. I see you now, perhaps sitting barefoot, looking at a fixed point on the wall or through the window pane, where the reflection of your own face seems to silently question you. What, after all, is the next step? You have spent days, perhaps months, trying to visualize the complete map of your life, wanting to know where each decision will lead you and how each piece of this puzzle will fit together. But the revelation I have saved for this moment is that the secret of the most important step of all is not the one that definitively takes you out of the desert, but the step you take today without seeing tomorrow's ground, simply because you heard my voice calling you. The most important step is the step of obedience in the dark. Imagine you are walking down the hallway of your house in the middle of the night. You don't need all the streetlights to be on to get to the other side. You only need enough light for where your feet are right now. Your mistake has been wanting the illumination of the horizon, while I am offering you the lamp for your feet. When you move in obedience, even without understanding the complete plan, you are activating a celestial gear that moves the impossible in your favor. This step is what separates those who only ask for miracles from those who live miracles. It is the moment when you decide that my direction is safer than your vision. Remember, when my servants were before the Jordan River, the waters did not part while they stood on the bank planning the crossing. The miracle only happened when the first priest placed the sole of his foot in the water. They took the step in calm faith, without the visual guarantee that the river would stop flowing. In the same way, I am asking you today to wet your feet in obedience. Perhaps this step is the forgiveness you swore you'd never give, or the silent renunciation of something you know distances you from me. Perhaps it's simply the decision to say nothing when the urge to scream is overwhelming. This is the step that parts the sea in your emotional life. Feel the authority of this truth I've left for you, for it is written in Psalm 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. Perceive the divine order. First the lamp for the foot, for the immediate step, and then the light for the long journey. I will not show you the final destination until you honor the instruction I gave you for now. Your most important step is the positive response to my invitation today. By doing so, you are not only walking, you are building a bridge of trust that nothing can destroy. The calmness I asked of you at the beginning of this message is what allows you to hear the marching order. A restless soul cannot perceive the exact moment to advance, but you, who have chosen to rest, now have your ears attentive. This step you will take today discreetly, perhaps without anyone noticing, is what will unlock the provision you have been asking for in prayer. Do not be afraid of the apparent smallness of your movement. In my eyes, the silent obedience of a daughter is a cry of victory that echoes throughout eternity. If you feel that your vision is becoming clear, and that the courage to take this next step is being born now, like this video, as a seal of obedience, subscribe so that your journey will never again be made in the solitude of your own ideas. Let me ask you deep in your heart, what would you do today if you had the absolute certainty that I would not let you fall? Share this divine guidance with someone who seems paralyzed by fear of the future. Write in the comments our word of clarity. Guide me. Prepare your spirit, for we are approaching the horizon that opens after your trust. There is a final vision that I want to imprint on your eyes, so that you will never again walk in fear. Look now beyond the heavy clouds that have surrounded your vision until this moment. I want you to take a deep breath, feeling the fresh air that blows from my throne directly into your lungs. What lies before you is no longer that arid desert you feared to cross, but a horizon that I myself have colored with shades of hope, restoration, and a peace that surpasses all human understanding. When you decide to take the step of calm faith, you are not merely changing places. You are changing spiritual dimensions. You are leaving the realm of self-effort to enter the realm of my abundant provision. I see the beauty of what I have prepared for you. The doors that were jammed by your anxiety are now beginning to yield under the touch of your silent trust. Imagine the scene. You walk through a field where the sun never sets, where every wound you carried transforms into a mark of honor. I see you smiling again, not with a forced smile for social media, but with that joy that springs from deep within, where only I can reach. I see your table overflowing, not just with bread, but with presence, healed conversations, and a rest you thought you'd never have again. This horizon that opens up after your trust is the place where your whys finally meet my I am. You will understand that every wait, every night of crying, and every step taken in silence was worth it to reach this new time that I inaugurate in your life today. Do not be afraid that tomorrow will bring new problems. On the horizon of my grace, problems are merely opportunities for me to show my power through your calmness. I am restoring your ability to dream. Those projects you buried because you thought you weren't capable, I am bringing them to light again, but this time with the structure of my wisdom. You will no longer walk alone, stumbling in your own haste. You will walk with me at the rhythm of eternity, and know that what I have for you is far greater than your imagination can grasp at this moment. Listen to the promise that seals your future and guards your heart against all doubt. For it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9, "But as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him." Keep these words as your greatest treasure. What is prepared for you does not depend on economics, the opinion of others, or your own perfection. It depends only on my love for you, which is infinite. You are my chosen daughter, and the horizon that awaits you is a reflection of the glory I desire to share with you. The journey here has been long and tiring, but you have won the most difficult battle, the battle of silencing fear to hear my voice. Now the path becomes lighter. Every step you take in peace will be a testament to my faithfulness. I am breathing a complete renewal upon your life, from the health of your body to the peace of your spirit. The horizon is clear. The sun of righteousness has risen for you with healing in its wings. Remain in this step of calm faith, for the land where you will tread is holy and blessed. If you can visualize this new horizon and receive this promise in your spirit, like this video as an act of ownership. Subscribe so that our daily journey continues to expand your spiritual vision. Tell me here, after everything we've discussed, what do you feel is the first thing you should leave behind to walk more lightly on this new horizon? Share this vision of hope with someone who can only see the wall before them, so that their eyes may also be opened. Write in the comments our word of victory, divine guidance. Remain silent for a few more moments, for we have reached the moment of the final revelation. The answer I promised at the beginning is about to be whispered to your heart. My daughter, we have reached the end of this private meeting, but not the end of our journey. Throughout this journey, I have shown you that the most important step you could take was one filled with calm faith, stripped of despair and clothed in my authority. I saw every resistance that fell within you as you listened to my voice, and how your heart, which was once heavy, now breathes with new relief. What happened here today was not just a video watched, but a spiritual surgery in which I removed the weight of anxiety and placed in its place the anchor of my peace. The secret to everything we have discussed, the key for you to take this step of obedience and walk towards the horizon I have shown you, lies in a single truth that I promised to give you. This is the phrase that should become your shield and your song, the answer for all the moments when doubt tries to return. Listen to it now, whispered by my spirit, directly into the center of your soul. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is not just a phrase, it is a declaration that your strength does not come from you, but from the inexhaustible source that is my Son. When you feel small before giants, when the path seems too steep, or when the pressure of the world tries to steal your calm, repeat these words with authority. They are the key to the peace you have so longed for. I want you now, as a prophetic gesture of one who accepts this divine strength, to write this phrase in the comments: I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. As you write, feel the weight of defeat being replaced by the certainty of victory. Those who read your comment will feel the same anointing that has reached you now. I will be here waiting for you at each new dawn, with new revelations and more of my love to sustain you. There is much more that heaven wants to tell you, secrets that are only revealed to those who decide to remain in my presence. If you wish to continue hearing my voice and immersing yourself in this ocean of love, I invite you to explore the other messages in our playlist. Let my word continue to cleanse your soul day after day. Go in peace with your head held high and your heart calm. The step has been taken, the direction has been received, and the horizon is yours. I bless you today and forever, with a peace that no one can take away. Always remember, you are never alone, for I am with you every step of the way.